Morning. We're gonna go ahead and get started with our warm. So go ahead and take a seat. We're gonna sit up nice and tall into our chairs onto the edges there. Good posture. So we're sitting nice, upright. We'll begin with taking some deep breaths in. We're gonna bring.
Do we need any weights?
Yeah, so we need our yoga mats and a set of hand weights, if you'd like. Ready? Coming up. Pausing at the top. And then exhaling as we come down. And we'll do 5 here. That's 2. 3. 4. And 5. Next, we're going to do some seated cat-cows. So with this one, same thing, we're going to pair it with our breathing. I'm going to exhale as I'm rounding my back. My head's going to come down towards my chest. And then as I sit up, I'm going to bring my chest out and I'm going to take a deep breath in. And we'll do 5 here. Rounding down, exhaling. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Next, we're going to do range of motion at our neck. So we'll alternate in between looking up at the ceiling and looking down towards the ground. We're going to do 10 total here. So I come up, that's 1. And down 2. So pausing in each position before we move up. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Good. Next, we're going to look over our right shoulder. We'll start in a neutral position, looking over the right shoulder 5 times, and then we're going to switch to the left. So looking over, and again, pausing at that end range. That's 1. 2, as far as you can go without causing pain. 3. 4. 5, and then opposite shoulder. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Next, we're going to do our shoulder circles. We'll do 5 backwards, 5 forwards. So shrugging up and down, that's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5, and then opposite going forward. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Next, we're going to move into some power ups. So I'm going to bring my hands down to my thighs. My chest is going to come down towards the thighs as well. I'm going to push up big and fast, opening up at the chest. And we'll do 5 here. So going down, power up. 1. Down and up. 2. Down and up. 3. Down and up. 4. And last one. 5. Yes. Next, we're going to do our rock and reach in this position as well. So we'll alternate between our right and left side. We're going to do a total of 10. So with this one, my arm's gonna come down to that same side thigh. I'm gonna kick my opposite foot out and turn up towards the ceiling. And then back into that get ready position. Now my opposite arm comes down to that same side thigh and rotating up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next, we're gonna reach forward. As we reach forward, our hands are gonna go out wide, reaching forward at the waist, and then coming back, squeezing in between our shoulder blades. And we'll do 5 here. So that forward weight shifting, coming back with the squeeze, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we're going to do some flutter wrists. So one wrist is going to start in that upward position towards the ceiling. Opposite's going to be flexed down towards the floor. And we're going to alternate till we get to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. We're going to interlock those fingers and bring our hands towards our chest. And then we're going to push out, feel that stretch in our wrists and our fingers. That's 1, 2, and we'll do 5 here. 3, 4, and 5. Next, we're going to alternate reaching up our back and so this position here, and then we'll switch into that one. And we're going to rotate until 10, okay? So as far as you can go without causing yourself pain. And opening up those shoulders, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next one, we're going to do 5 of these as well. We're going to go into our Y's, pulling down into that W, and then back up. We'll do 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening up at the hips, we're going to take a big step out and then stepping back in. All right, we'll do 5 with that right leg, and then we're going to switch and we'll do 5 with the left. So coming up, big step out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then switching opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we're gonna come up onto our toes and then up onto our heels. So we'll alternate with this one. You see, I'll pan the screen down a little bit so that you can see what my feet are doing. So I'm bringing my toes off of the floor and then switching, and my heels come up. We're going to alternate between 10 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And next we're going to go with some marching in the chair, opposite arm swinging, and we'll alternate till 10. So really exaggerating that arm swing and hip bend. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. All right, everybody. Now that we're nice and warmed up, go ahead and get a drink. We are going to cycle through 3 different exercises. We'll spend a minute in each exercise, 30 seconds to rotate between, and we'll do each set of exercises twice. So we'll do 2 different circuits, and we'll repeat each one twice. So starting with the first one, we're going to start in a seated position. We'll do our power step kind of like we did earlier with our warm up, only in between stepping out, we're going to alternate stepping to the left and stepping to the right. And in that center position, we're going to practice our standing up from the chair. So I'll show you guys what those will look like. The next one, in a seated position, we're going to do sit-ups in the chair, like a modified sit-up with a row. And then going down to the ground, we're going to do lying onto our back with marches. So these exercises are really targeted on our core abdominal and hip muscles. Okay. And I'll show you what these 3 look like. So starting with that power up, our power step with a sit to stand. So that first one, we're stepping up and out to the side, back in, and then power up, down, opposite hip goes out, back in, power up. Okay, so that's what the first exercise will look like. I saw all of you guys participating with it. That looked really nice. Our next one is going to be a chair set up with a row. So you can choose to do this with or without weights. The further back that we're leaning in the chair, the more activation we're going to get from those abdominal muscles. I'll show you what it looks like from the front and also to the side. So as I lean back, I'm going to extend my arms. As I come forward, I'm doing a row. So back, and that will be the second exercise. And again, the further back that I'm leaning in that chair, the more difficult I'm making it for myself. So my abdominal muscles are having to work a little bit harder. So if you look at it from the side, I'm back into this position and pulling up. All right. The third exercise is going to be a march. If you don't want to get up and down from the ground, you can also do this in a seated position. We're going to use our hands to push down into the leg as the leg comes up. Not a really all-out movement. My hand's not going to move my leg's not going to move my hand. I'll hold 1, 2, 3, and then opposite side. So that's the option if you don't want to get onto the ground. Otherwise, for those of you joining me on the ground, same concept. I'm going to get down on my back, bending both knees. That helps to put my back in a neutral position as well. And same thing, I'm going to bring my leg up. I'm going to push 1, 2, 3, back down, up, 1, 2, 3. When I push into my leg, I should feel those muscles in my belly tighten up. All right. So like I said, we'll spend a minute in each exercise and then 30 seconds to move in between positions. And we'll take off. So starting with those power steps into our power up. And ready? Starting. So stepping out, in, up, down, opposite hip goes out, in, up, down, out, in, up, down. Good, looks good. Halfway there. Less than 10 seconds. All right, switching into our sit-ups with rows. And like I said, if you choose to, you can use a pair of hand weights to make it a little bit more challenging as well. About 15 seconds before we take off. Good. And roll up, down. And squeezing in between your shoulder blades with that row. More than halfway there. Good, about 10 more seconds. All right, transitioning onto the floor if you're joining me there. Otherwise, we'll do those seated marches. About 10 more seconds before we take off. Coming up, pushing 1, 2, 3, and down. Good. And again, it's not an all-out effort. My hand is not moving my leg is not moving my hand. Good. More than halfway there. Good, 10 more seconds. All right. First one's in the books. We're going to go through and we'll do that series one more time. We'll take off in about 15 seconds, starting with in the seated position with our power step to power up. All right, ready? Stepping out, back to the center. Power up. Down. Out. In. Power up. Down. Out. In. Power up. Good. More than halfway there. Less than 10. See if we can get one more in. All right. Those sit-ups with rows. And taking off in about 20 seconds. Good. Ooh. Abdominal muscles gonna work out today. More than halfway there. About 10 more seconds. All right, move into the floor. Good. Gently pushing into the top of your thigh. Holding about 3 to 5 seconds. More than halfway there. And again, you can do this in a seated position as well. Good, down to the last 10. Good. All right. How we feeling? Good. We can get a drink of water. We're going to head into the second round of exercises. So our first one we're going to do with our chairs, and we'll demonstrate this one afterwards. But it's going to be a walkout to a plank on the chair and then into a mini squat. The second one is going to be a chair jack, so kind of like a jumping jack, and then we're going to pop out and do our power twists as well, getting those abdominal muscles on the side of the stomach working. And then we're going to go down to the ground and we'll do some alternating lunges. So we'll talk about how those three are going to look. So the first one, when we're doing that walkout into a plank, you want to make sure that your wrists are right directly underneath your shoulders. Because if I'm standing out like this with my body weight back, it's going to move the chair. Okay. So as long as my hands are directly over my shoulders, that chair is going to stay nice and stable. So from this position here, I'm going to step out, step out, step in, stand up, squat, up, back down, step out, step out. And we can modify this to whatever your tolerance is. So maybe you're not stepping out with quite so much of a incline when you're stepping out. So it may look a little bit more like this, so that I'm not having to hold that plank so long. All right. The next one we're going to do in a seated position. So with this one, I'm jumping out, back in, into my T position, twist, out, twist, down, out, in, out, twist, out, twist, and back down. Okay. And then move into the ground and do my alternating lunges. So I'm going to start in a kneeling position on the floor. From this position here, I'm going to alternate, bringing that leg up, lunging forward, feeling that stretch in my muscles on the opposite side hip, the one that's not up, and then back down, and this side. We can also do it in a standing position if you like, standing up with the chair. So stepping out, lunging, feeling that stretch, back together, and then with the opposite leg. All right. We shall take off with those walkout planks to mini squat first. Wait a couple seconds. Everybody looks like they're about ready. All right, so starting with those walkout planks. With a mini squat. So stepping out. Up. Mini squat, back up, hands over my shoulders, out, out, in, up, squat, up, back forward, out, in, up, squat, up. Looks great, guys. More than halfway there. Less than 10. Good. We're moving into our chairs. In about 10 more seconds. So again, we're doing our jumping jack, back down, out into our T, twist, open, twist, open, down. Okay. So jack, down, T, twist, open, twist, open, down, jack, down, T, twist, open, twist, open, down, up, down, T, twist, open, twist, open, down. Good. Good, less than 10. All right. And then transitioning to the floor. So I always really like incorporating squats and lunges into exercising because I think that they're both very functional in those activities that we do throughout our day. And taking off in about 5. All right. So stepping out, lunging, back, switch sides. We'll pan down a little bit. Opposite side steps out. You should feel a stretch on this side. Back down. And don't be afraid to hold that position for a couple of seconds so that we can feel that stretch in the front of our hip. These muscles here tend to get really tight just from our daily activity, sitting. Good, more than halfway there. And down to the last 10 seconds. All right. And again, another one in the books. We'll take that time to get all set up. So starting again with those walkout planks to our mini squat. Looks like everybody's just about ready. We'll take off in about 10 more seconds. And starting. Oops. Oops, sorry. Starting. Out, out, in, up, squat, up, down, out, in, up, squat, up, down. Good. More than halfway there. And down to about last 10 seconds. All right. Getting our chair ready. Going into our chair jumping jacks with our power twists. And again, if you want to, you can use the hand weights if you'd like to make it a little bit more challenging. About 5 more seconds before we take off. Good. Out, down, T, twist, open, twist, open, down, up, down, T, twist, open, twist, open, down, up, down, open, twist, open, twist, open, down. Looks good. Good, last 10. Ooh, that one burned a little with adding that hand weights in. All right, 30 seconds to get transitioned to the ground for those alternating lunges. And again, we can always do this in the standing position. Then lunging. And then back to that tall kneeling position, and then opposite leg lunges out. Looks good, everybody. More than halfway there. Good. Down to our last 10 seconds. Good. This is a good one for improving our hip flexibility. All right. How's everybody feeling? Good, nice and warmed up now. Okay, I'll give you all a chance to grab a drink of water. And we are going to do our power series. So we're going to do it today in a all four position. So that tabletop position, we can always modify it with the chair if we need to for having difficulty getting up and down from the ground. And we can always do it in the seated position if we're not able to do either of those other two. I'll give you a few minutes to get set up and get everybody back. And then we'll go over what those power moves in the 4-point position look like. We'll give it another 30 seconds for people to get back. I'm going to go through and show the two that would be the modifications before I show you the one on the ground. And again, for those of you joining me on the ground, we are doing the 4-point today. So meaning on our hands and our knees. The modification would be with the chair. So that first one, our power up with the chair. We're going to come down and then power up. That would be our power up if we're doing the modification. Our power rock, again, making sure that my hands are underneath my shoulders. I'm going to rock back, feel that stretch in my back, rock forward. Okay. That would be my power rock in the modified position. My power twist. Now I'm going to come into this position. My arm threads through that opening between my body and my opposite arm, and then I twist up, looking up towards the ceiling, and then switching sides. So then the opposite arm threads through that opening where between my body and my shoulder, and then twisting up to that opposite side. And then our last one, our power step. Kind of similar to what we did with our workup. You can step and power up if you want to make it a little bit more challenging in that position. So that would be the modification if you're using the chair. Again, you can go through and do it in the seated position. And I think most of us are pretty comfortable with those positions. We have our power up, our power rock, our power twist, and our power step. So most of those we did today in our workup and warm up already. That would be the other modification. For those of you joining me on the floor, so we have our first one, our power up. So coming down and pushing up. And then our power rock in the 4-point position. We're gonna rock back. And then come forward. If you can drop your hips. Okay. Our twists, again, we're going through that opening made in between our arm and our body, our hip. Threading down, twisting up. And our power step. If you want to make it more challenging, you can come up from that position. Otherwise, we just step from side to side. Okay. We are going to do 10 in each position. So we'll do 10 in each position for our twist. We're going to alternate between those two, right, left. So we'll twist under our right side, up, twist under left, up, and that will count as 2. And then same thing for the steps. We'll alternate till we get to 10 between our left and our right. Let's see. And again, the modifications would be to do it with the chair or seated in the chair. Okay, we'll do 10 of each, starting with that power up. So coming down and power up. That's 1. And down, power up. 2. And down, power up. 3. And down, power up. 4. And down, power up. 5. And down, power up. 6. And down, power up. 7. And down, power up. 8. And down. 9. And down. 10. All right. And now into our power rock. We're going to do 10 here. So I'm rocking back. My bottom's going towards my heels. And then I rock into that forward position. And again, if I can drop my hips. That's 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. 5. Good. Halfway there. 6. 7. 8. Last 2. 9. 10. Good. Going back into that 4-point tabletop position on all fours. We're going to alternate between left and right until we get to 10. Good. So threading underneath and twisting up That's one. Back down into that starting position. Opposite arm threads through. And 2. And threading. 3. 4. 5. And the head is following the hand. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And the last one, we're going to go into those power steps, okay? Either with the help of the chair for the modification. And remember, if we want to make it a little bit harder, we can do the up with it as well. So we're going to alternate to get to 10. I step. If I like, I can come forward with my body. Back down. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh, all right. The last thing that we'll do for today, we're going to go through and we're going to bring them all together. We're going to flow them all together. Okay. So the flows always helped to work on our coordination and just as a mental activity, knowing quickly what that next position is going to be. So we're going to flow through. We'll do this one 3 times. So starting with that power up, moving directly into the power rock, into our twist left, twist right, and then step left, step right. Okay. We're going to cycle through. We'll do that 3 times, flowing the moves together. Okay. So starting with our power up. Good. And down and target ready. Rocking. Back. Forward. Get ready to twist left and up. Get ready to twist right and up. And our step. And you can add that up if you'd like, or we can just step with our leg and leave that up part out. Going straight into our power up. This is our second series of the flow. Back down, rocking back, rocking forward. Get ready to twist. Good, and twist. And our step. And last one. Pulling those moves together. All right, up. And rock back. Forward. So step. All right. Good job, everybody. Oh, and we'll end with our cool down, okay? How are we feeling? Feel like we earned that cool down today. So we'll start back into our chairs. And first, we're going to start with a stretch for the back of our shoulders. So that right hand is going to come across your body, and you're going to hug it to you with your left arm. We can do some circles here. In both ways. Good, and switching sides. Now that left arm comes across your body, the right arm's going to hug it. And we do circles. Good. So stretching our upper shoulder and neck area. When I'm stretching my right side, my right arm is going to come and hold underneath of the chair. That just keeps the shoulder anchored so that it's not shrugging up as I'm moving my head away. So my opposite ear, that left side's coming towards my left shoulder. If I want to, I can use my left arm to give a little bit of overpressure. This should feel like a stretch. It shouldn't feel like it's causing you pain when you do this one. Good, and we'll go to that opposite side. Now my left hand's going to come to my chair to keep that shoulder in good position. My right ear is coming towards my right shoulder. And use that right hand to give a little bit of overpressure if I'd like. Good. We'll do one more for our necks. Now we're looking to stretch that muscle that runs from the top of our shoulder blade to the base of our head. So we're going to bring our head down and turn it towards our left shoulder. Almost as if you're trying to put your nose into your armpit. You can give a little bit of overpressure if you'd like. Good, and opposite side. Bring the head down, turning towards that right shoulder. Can give a little overpressure. Good. Next, stretching those muscles in our trunk. We're going to bring our left hand towards our right knee. The other hand is going to come onto the chair and we'll give a gentle twist. Good, and switching to that opposite side. Now our right hand comes to our left knee. The left arm is going to hold onto the chair as we give a nice gentle twist. Good. Next, we're going to stretch our hamstring muscles. So you're going to kick out one leg so that it's all the way straight. And leave your feet up so that it's flexed your toes towards you. And then we're going to keep our position up, but I'm going to bend at the waist forward. So my chest is going to stay up, but I should feel a stretch in the back of my thigh here. Good, and we'll switch to the opposite side. So making sure that that knee is all the way straight because of the point where that muscle attaches on the just below where that knee joint is. So if it's bent, that's going to put the muscle on a little bit of a slack and we won't feel that stretch. Good. Now stretching our hips, we're going to make that figure 4 position. Good. And then our hands are going to hug our knee towards that opposite side hip. We can do some ankle circles here. In both directions. Good. And opposite side. Good. And we're going to end with our butterfly stretch. So with this one, we're going to interlace our fingers, just gently place it on the back of your neck. We're going to exhale as we round and bring our elbows in. Then we take a breath in as we come up, pulling our elbows apart. Okay, we'll do 5 here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. We're all set.